Yee. What's going on, y'all? You already know it's Chance. Be Yourself podcast. And this is another therapy session. Now, check it out. I should have done this first, but I didn't. I was so anxious to get that first therapy session off forgiveness. So if you haven't checked it out, go back and check it out. It's the first episode. But I was so anxious to get that off that I forgot to give the whole reason of why this is here. So that's why this episode is why I started the podcast. And again, forgive me, my voice is still hoarse, so hopefully it'll be fixed soon. But let me tell you why I started the podcast. It's personal for me. I didn't start it to be famous, and I definitely didn't start it to chase numbers just to look like, oh shit, I'm doing numbers. I started it because for a long time I carried a lot of pain, things I didn't know about, like things I tried to push down. Basically like pretend like if they didn't exist. But eventually, it catches up to you. And I realized something. The only way to heal, or like really heal, is to face whatever you're going through. Just basically face it. That's why I created the whole Be Yourself podcast on YouTube space initially and had some people with me. But since the consistency wasn't there, I kind of slowed down on that channel and just focused more on my wrestling channel, which is, in case you do love wrestling, Wrestling's Behind the Curtain on YouTube. So go check that out. And then obviously we have a Geeked Out channel, the Geeked Out podcast. That's on YouTube and it's on Apple, Spotify, like this too. So I just started focusing more on that. But I felt like stuff was still missing. Like I still had things I wanted to talk about, like deep things that didn't have anything to do with wrestling, anything to do with Marvel, DC, TV shows, shit like that. Like I had certain traumas that I went through, might still be going through that I don't know about. But the point was, if I share the things that I've been through and went through, like again, the forgiveness episode and the thing that I went through with my best friend, then maybe someone else might be going through this and it would help them along the way. So it's basically to talk about the stuff that most people keep buried, things that break you, things that shape you, but definitely one way or the other, they're definitely going to change you. So I've been through some things, and along the way, we will talk about certain things. I've had trauma, I've had loss, disappointment. I had times I think I didn't bounce back or I couldn't bounce back. There was even a point where I almost committed suicide. That won't be this episode, but I promise you it will come up. And especially if you want to speak on, if you want that to happen, then, you know, make sure you chime in. You can follow me on Instagram, Be Yourself Podcast Clips, or on the YouTube channel, Be Yourself Podcast. And then you can chime in there and tell me what you think. But I had nights where I questioned everything, who I was, what my purpose was, if I'm even meant to get out of the certain situations that I was in. And from what I've learned through all of that, talking does help. We're taught not to talk, to keep our feelings inside. At least my generation was, and I'm 45. My generation was don't talk, don't be weak, don't be a punk, don't show your emotions, don't cry, don't show your feelings, don't do any of that. But that isn't the way. And that's another reason why this podcast or therapy sessions was created. Because I wanted people to know, especially the young kids, that we've got to deal with what's going on inside of you, or you will lose it in one way or the other. So, not just get it off your chest, but because somebody somewhere might be going through the same thing. And they need to know, like I should have known at that time, that you're not alone. You'd be surprised how many people are walking around smiling, but actually hurting inside, which is why they say you never know what someone's going through. So to be kind, Because you might just go off on somebody, just be mad disrespectful or just bully the shit out of somebody. And they're already thinking bad things or suicidal shit. You might push them over the edge where a simple hello, how's your day going? You're beautiful, you're gorgeous. You're like, hey man, you look good today. Like, or hey, if you're talking to a dude, like, yo, that's a nice fit, bro. Or, something might switch their whole shit from being negative to, oh, it's positive out here. You know what I mean? So sometimes it takes hearing somebody else say, I've been there too, which again is why we're doing this. So if you're listening and you go through the things that I'm telling you, my therapy sessions, I hope it helps you. I don't need anything else but to know, hey, I appreciate that. And like I was going through something that really helped me out. And that's what I used to do with my music. Maybe we'll get there in another conversation too, but music was my therapy. That's how I released all the things that I was going through. And since that's no longer my outlet, this is the outlet. So I hope it does hit you and I hope it does help you. But listen, this therapy sessions, it's not about pretending life's perfect. It's about being honest. It's about healing out loud. It's about saying the things most people keep quiet, that they're actually learning from it. Some episodes, yeah, we're going to get mad deep, like pause, but we're going to get deep into our feelings. Some might be too raw. This whole thing might even get emotional. Sometimes we might joke. Sometimes we might clown. Sometimes I might be telling you about funny episodes that happen. Sometimes I might tell you about relationship stuff. But every single thing that I give you, especially if you know me, you're going to know this is real. Because if I could take what broke me and turn it into something that helps somebody else, then none of it's wasted, right? Then it's a purpose served. It's a give back, passing the keys down, paying it forward. You know what I mean? And let me clear this up. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a person who's lived, learned, aged. Thank you for that. Appreciate. I'm blessed to age. And even though I figured things out at 45, I'm still figuring it out. But again, my hope is that this therapy sessions will become a safe place, a place where you can listen and feel seen, feel heard, feel like maybe you're not as messed up as you think you are. We all go through shit. We all need help at some point because we all have our battles. We all have our stories. And sometimes sharing yours is the first step to actually healing. So, to close it out, basically, that's why I started the podcast, to turn pain into purpose, to take what I've been through and maybe make it easier for someone else to get through theirs. And even if it just helps one person listens, one person understood more, one person felt better, one person isn't suicidal anymore, then I've done what I came to do. So, thank y'all for being here. Thank you for listening. But most importantly, remember, whatever you're going through, you don't have to go through it alone. So, our time's up. To the next session. As always, be yourself.